FX
DRS?
DRS.
Like Formula One?
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we finally have Matt Dubber on the channel.
Yep.
We've been mates for years, but we've never done a video together.
Nope, we haven't.
No.
Aside from the podcast.
Oh, right, we did the podcast the one day, right. Okay, we have Matt on the channel again, forgotten about the podcast, My Life is Chaos. This is the new FX DRS. Finally, FX air rifle for the guys that don't know what the FX is. Finally, it looks like a gun.
I know.
Like a real
crazy.
rifle. Yeah. One of my sort of drawbacks has always been, I have the Dreamline. It's just too top heavy. It's not really a familiar platform. And for the keen viewers out there, you'll notice the chassis looks relatively familiar. So Matt, tell us about the project and what sort of guys are looking at. I'm not an air rifle guy, right? So speak to me as if I'm not an air rifle guy.
So basically, a few years ago when air guns started increasing in power and having the capability to shoot higher BC slugs and basically coming close to rimfire performance, it really opened the door to like PRS style shooting with air guns. But at the time, the air guns available weren't necessarily the right fit for that discipline.
Yes.
Firstly, because of the balance. A lot of them were back heavy or front heavy, and there wasn't any sort of thought going into resting on a single bag for the type of shooting that you do with this. The other thing is the height. Trying to fit like the FX Impact or a lot of like guns with a bottle at the bottom through like a ladder or a tight barricade, it wasn't really possible. So,
and ARCA compatibility was also an
compatibility, adjustability. There's a lot of stuff. The ability to add weights on the M-lock slots, all of that. So FX kind of started on this journey of, okay, let's make something that's more suited to that discipline. They made the FX Pantera. But the Pantera, as good as it wasn't as familiar to shooters who, let's say, were using an MDT chassis on a professional level. So if they wanted to have something that they firstly were very familiar with, they didn't like having to change to something that felt totally different. And also, as a trainer rifle, you want it to feel exactly the same as your match rifle. So Johan from FX met up with MDT, had the conversation, and this baby was born.
So I'm going to roll that back.
Yes.
I sent an email to Johan.
Johan did credit you. He said you were the first person to bring it up.
Johan, I really want an FX and an MDT. Could we make that happen? And he was telling me just now, he was like, I don't feel like adapting one of the current rifles for this. So he basically designed a brand new rifle just to go into this chassis. Now, if you're not a chassis person, okay, I'll show you guys an image. There's other options too that you can look at. And it's basically, like a wooden type stock or a laminate stock, and it looks really, really good. I wish you guys had one of those here so we could, show one off. Now, talk to me terminology-wise. We've done quite a creative little solution here using the magazine. You'll notice there's no mag release here. So tell us a little bit about that.
So if you look at this straight, you might assume that this is like a barrel shroud and that this is just a dummy magazine. But both of these have a purpose.
Okay.
This over here is the air cylinder. So when you fill the rifle up, your air will go,
over here.
which you do on the side. The air will get filled up in this area here, which is around the barrel. You'll top it up to, let's say, 250 bar. And then there's a pressure regulator somewhere over here that you can adjust with an Allen key just through the side
through the M-lock.
And that sets your plenum pressure. So your plenum is like, that's this over here that looks like a magazine. That's actually additional air storage.
Right.
And that is at a set pressure. No matter what your cylinder is filled to, this will be at whatever pressure you. So let's say you set it to 160 bar. This will be 160 bar. And you can then tune the gun to shoot at whatever pressure you want. So you can tune this to shoot like lightweight pellets for training and get like 60, 70 shots per fill, or you can tune it, put the reg pressure up, adjust the hammer spring, and shoot a 40 grain slug at 1,000 feet per second.
Now that brings us to slugs and pellets.
Yes.
Different configurations. Yeah. Okay.
So the gun that's in a more traditional stock, that's not the Pro version, will have a smaller plenum. So essentially, it's like having a a smaller cartridge behind
Yes,
your bullet.
less powder.
Less
Yeah.
powder, basically, if you want to equate it to that. So you're getting less power, and you're going to have a barrel that's basically made to shoot just pellets.
Sure.
This one, out of the box, will be made primarily to shoot slugs, so the barrel will have a slightly faster twist rate.
Awesome.
You can shoot a 40 grain slug, no problem.
Okay.
But if you want to tune it down, it will shoot pellets pretty well.
Okay.
Also.
Awesome.
So you've got options to do both.
So what I'm going to need from you, okay, is when I get mine, I think I'm going to drive over to you, we sync up schedules, and you can help me set it up, tune it, do all the air gun magic to mine, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're going to shoot some monkeys or something.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. And Johan was saying that he's going to be in South Africa in April. So
yep.
maybe we can dovetail something where the three of us do something really cool together. But I am
good.
beyond excited to see how this does for FX in the marketplace, because there's literally nothing like it. This is so super, super cool. Obviously MDT ACC chassis, that's what we have over here. And color options will be black and FDE, and this is sort of a burnt bronze. I don't know if it'll translate to the video, but it looks good. There's a black one over here.
Yep.
And no, this is
That's just a dummy
a
stock.
centerfire rifle.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought
I actually think there might be multiple color options available. I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to check with Jan on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because some people might look at this and say, that's really expensive for an air rifle. But actually, compared to what people spend for a match precision rifle, that's unfortunately you have to spend a bit of money to get that extra little bit of performance.
For sure.
And the rigidity that this chassis has, compared to just like an off-the-shelf air gun, and just the balance and everything, it's on a totally different level.
And also, it opens up other possibilities, People that live in communist countries that can't own firearms can own this.
Yeah. And
Check your local regulation.
I shoot like some NRL 22 matches,
Yes.
and I got a little range near my house and everything. And I can rock up there with this, which I don't need a license for. I don't need to struggle to find like the right batch of ammunition and like panic buy when there's suddenly stock.
Sure.
I've got a bit more freedom.
Yeah.
Obviously, every country's different, but that's a benefit for me.
Also, for getting kiddies and stuff involved into shooting, it's more of a familiar platform when they eventually transition into centerfire stuff. So I'm super
you can turn the
pumped.
power all the way down to almost nothing.
Okay.
Make it dead quiet.
Wow.
Which is great,
Now, how much shooting have you done with this? With being at SHOT Show, I haven't checked your launch video, but I'm sure it's great.
So this is the very first production chassis that MDT made.
Yeah.
I've done some testing with a pre-production prototype that had basically a Remington 700 chassis that FX kind of milled out, and I took a hacksaw to make space for certain things.
Right.
And I popped the action in.
Okay.
I had an earlier action with slightly different valves and stuff, but it performed like incredibly well.
Okay.
Like it outshot any other gun that I've ever had.
Okay.
And it wasn't even the production version.
Okay.
So I'm very, very excited.
Now, I believe the first kind of almost pre-production units in its final form are currently in production.
Yes.
Johan mentioned he's going to make one or two changes, like this little, what do you call this, charging
It's a
handle?
side lever.
Side lever.
Yeah.
It's difficult to show on the camera, but it's a little bit long, so the
It'll have a shorter throw,
it'll
basically, so
be
you
a
don't have
shorter
to
throw.
move your hand from the
He
grip.
was also telling me I don't know if he's told you, but he's going to do a little straight pull type thing.
Yeah.
Which will be super fast, obviously. And I've just spoken to Justin, so I'm going to make my way to RMAC this year. So
Awesome.
it'll be super
Awesome.
cool to finally see, the gigantic event that they put on at RMAC this year. And I think there's a lot of good shooters are going to, because the awareness has grown, the massive prizes and stuff. I'm not going to go and try and win the thing. I'm going to try and take you guys along and show you how freaking awesome this event is. Well, Matt, thank you very much for taking us through that. Is there anything I didn't ask or glossed over, or something you need to mention that's important?
I think one thing that's important is it will have I believe it's a 14-shot magazine.
Right.
And then on full power, max out the power, you will get enough shots to get you through a stage.
Sure.
Like a NRL 22 or PRS 22 match.
Yeah.
So this isn't just a training gun, it's actually something you can compete with.
Don't you
so I'm very
wish that
excited about that.
as rimfire and the air rifle scene sort of converge in the middle, it would be really cool to go to like a 22 rimfire match and them having a cylinder there instead of you having to walk to your car. So
It's getting there.
NRL 22 match directors, think about that.
Yeah.
You have a cylinder there and make everybody's life easier to sort of encourage the growth of the air rifles.
What's cool is that it's actually happening. Like at the NRL 22 finale last year, they had like air tanks and a compressor that rolled around between the
cool.
different stage areas.
Yeah.
So they're starting to accommodate more. I mean, in a lot of countries now, you can sign up as an air rifle shooter
Yeah.
in a different category,
Okay.
which is cool. So it's opening up, and I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you very much for taking us through there.
Pleasure.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Matt's channel, I'm going to link that here at the end for us somewhere. And yeah, super pumped. We'll see you on the channel. We'll push the limits. We'll shoot a match. We'll have a lot of fun. So watch the space, like, subscribe, all of the lovely stuff. See ya. Bye.
Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, mate.
Pleasure.